All right, welcome back to Gen X Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be doing things a little different. For today's film review, I'm going to give my initial thoughts, and then we're going to jump over to Generation Alpha, where we will receive considered, thoughtful, intuitive, measured, contemplative,
Not the data.
canny, and astute review.
Okay, this can't be a video where you just beat the crap out of your data the whole time.
Of Universal and DreamWorks Dogman. Okay, maybe this Gen Alpha kid is my kid, and it's gonna be none of those things. But let's find out right now on Gen X Movie Reviews. This is definitely not gonna be a train wreck.
Those who are uninitiated, although I'm guessing if you're watching this review, you have young children and are well versed in all the adventures of Dogman and his associates. Dogman follows the half man, half dog, all super cop as he attempts to protect OK City from that felonious feline supervillain, Petey the Cat. The movie adapts mostly the first and third books, which is well-trodden material by now. Especially for me, I've read these books way too many times. So we've got all the usual suspects. Dogman is played by Peter Hastings. It's a good performance. There's not a whole lot to do except ruffs and growls, but he nails it. Pete Davidson plays Petey, and the man is carving himself out a great little voice career with this and Transformers Rise of the Beasts a couple of years ago. I know Pete Davidson can grate on a lot of people's nerves, but I actually think he's turning in great work here, especially as a voice artist. Petey the Cat is well fleshed out. He really feels true to what we read in the pages. And Pete Davidson's performance isn't too over the top and makes for a fun listen. Little Rel Howery brings a lot of fun to Chief, playing up the frustration and aggravation that he feels with Dogman, while still finding some heart, humor, and an underpinning love for Dogman. We've got a few other heavy hitters in there. Isla Fisher is playing the great Sarah Hadoff. We've got Billy Boyd in there playing Seamus. We can't forget Ricky Gervais, who plays a malevolently evil and deliciously fun Flippy. And of course, the famous Stephen, have you seen my stapler? Root, playing Grandpa. And I want to give a big shout out to Lucas Calderon. This is his first credit, and he absolutely nails Little Petey. The film is written by Peter Hastings and original author Dav Pilkey, and it is also directed by Hastings, who is a veteran animation chief who has helmed many other Captain Underpants projects, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Kung Fu Panda. The animation in Dogman is fantastic. It's very cool. It really honors the aesthetic of the original books, which were made to look like children's drawings. And so the animation here feels a little crude, a little rough around the edges, yet it is done in such a great style that it really pops on screen. It really fleshes out Dogman's world in a way that's necessary, as this is a major motion picture. Now, my kid and I recently watched Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, and I would say that the animation here is definitely a step above. It feels like it's birthed from the same place, but it really feels like they elevated the game for Dogman. I would say it really apes the aesthetic of the recent Wallace and Gromit films that we've been getting from Netflix. A kind of hitchy DIY animation style that really forges a different path from that overly polished, too smooth look from Disney that we've gotten for the last 2 decades. And I'm here for it. It's refreshing and fun, and it gives the world a set of its own rules. Like films like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, all those Spider-Verse films, which kick ass. I love that animation style. And of course, The Wild Robot. I will say, however, that this film is not as accomplished as those films on any level. And let's dive into that. I feel like with these kind of films, they really fall into 2 divisions. On one hand, we have family films, and on the other hand, we have kids' films. What do I mean? Let me explain. I feel like family films are playing on another level. They're that sort of top-tier film where the kids are engaged and engrossed in the story, but the adults can enjoy it as well. I'm thinking of films like The Wild Robot. I was sitting there, I could look over at my kid, he was entranced, but then at the very end of The Wild Robot, I felt a little salty Gen X tear may have rolled down my cheek. Whew. That one got to me. The film is moving me. The film is taking me on a journey. And yeah, originally it's perhaps styled for kids, but it really becomes a story the whole family can enjoy. I would say kids' films are kind of a step down in quality. They're just not hitting at the level of a family film. They're specifically designed for the kids in mind. They're aiming for fart jokes and pee-pee jokes for kids from 8 to 12, or they're exceptionally cutesy and simple-minded for that age 3 to 7 set. There's nothing inherently wrong with films like this, but as the adult sitting in the theater, you find yourself yawning and checking your watch and wondering when you can get out of this sweet fresh hell. Dogman is definitely way more a kid's film than a family film. Those books are geared exclusively for an 8 to 12-year-old reader. There is definitely a lot of fun to be had in the film, and there is nothing that's mean-spirited or excessively toilet-based. And I found myself chuckling along, but most of my joy really came from looking over at my son and seeing the joy he had on his face. But I really did find myself sort of hazing out in the theater and checking my watch, which always hurts for a 90-minute film. Speaking of story, this brings up what I think might be Dogman's greatest flaw as a film. Look, I get it. Dav Pilkey's books are sacrosanct and a religion for certainly my kid. He has read and reread these books ad nauseum for the last 4 years. So when you go to adapt this material, what do you do except adapt the most popular books, the first books? You need to have a jumping off point. You need that origin story. But the problem with any origin story, a la, say, Spider-Man with his Peter Parker, Uncle Ben storyline, we've seen it all before. We've been told this story before. And certainly with the audience for Dogman, they're going to have read these books and seen these stories before. You and your kid have likely read these adventures over and over at bedtime, sometimes 3 or 4 times a night, and we know this story well. And herein lies the conundrum. Not unlike Spider-Man, where we know his origin story done to death. The origin story of Dogman is such well-trodden ground that you risk boring the audience if you tell a beat-for-beat remake of the exact same story that they've read from the books. Dogman really suffers from this and could have benefited from maybe a punch-up on the writing or a fresh new perspective shift or coming at it from a slightly different angle. But then, of course, you risk alienating the audience that is just there for the greatest hits. No one wants to go to a concert and watch your favorite band play their latest album when their greatest hits were 20 years ago. It's not unlike going to a U2 concert and expecting to hear some of the greatest songs of all time from last century, and then just hearing all the dreck that they created this century. I really do feel like Dogman does its best to honor the stories while still trying to inject something fresh and new in there, but I don't think it completely succeeds. Writing-wise, they really don't do too much to try and attract the adult audience. A lot of this humor is aimed directly at kids. But I will say, as a Gen X sidebar, there were some weird references to both Alien and Die Hard, two hard R movies from the 80s that made me go, wait, did the movie just do that? But that's enough from a grumpy, jaded Gen Xer. Let's jump in and see what the targeted audience really thinks of this movie. Today, we've got a very cool guest, and he's a member of Generation Alpha. He's also my kid. So today, we're diving in and reviewing the movie
Dogman!
Hooray! Ow, ow, ow! Ow, ow, ow! And what did we think?
Awesome!
What did you think about the music?
Awesome!
What did you think about Dogman?
Awesome!
What did you think about Lil Petey?
Cute and awesome!
Oh my gosh, cute and awesome. So watch, don't mess up my hair. Jeez, come on. All right, so Generation Alpha. If you had to choose, who would you say was your hands down favorite character in Dogman?
They're all my favorite.
They're all your favorite?
Except for the grandpa. The grandpa sucks.
Was Flippy your favorite? No. What did you think about Flippy's voice? Oh no, you didn't like Flippy's voice? Did it sound like what you had in your head? You're a Dogman aficionado. You're a Dogman professional. You're a Dogman professor. You could teach a course about Dogman. What would your professional opinion be, Professor Dogman, about the film?
Awesome!
Did they miss a lot of the stuff that happens in the books?
Yeah.
Does it matter to the movie?
The movie was still awesome.
Nice. Pick Dogman or Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Which one is the better movie?
I can't pick.
You gotta pick one. Someone's got a knife to your belly and says, if you don't pick, I'm gonna gut you like a flippy fish. Which one are you choosing? Are you choosing Dogman or are you choosing Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
The Sonic movie's better than the Dogman movie, but I do hope they make a second Dogman movie.
Yeah. This is a very big, important question. So I need you to get ready, okay? Look at the camera. You're gonna have to think about this very, very seriously. Who does the voices better? The movie or Dada when he's reading you the book? Huh? Who does the voices better, huh? Who does the voices better?
Movie. But Dada did awesome.
What? The movie does voices better than me?
Dada.
What? All right, you heard it here, folks. The movie did better than a Dada at home doing the voices.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. You just either give thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down. What did you think about the animation, how they were drawn? Thumbs up. Do you think that Dada does a better flippy than in the movie? Woohoo! I'll take that. That's a win. Do you think that's the best Dogman movie that they could have made? Ooh, middling. Okay, Generation Alpha. What was better, the movie or the popcorn that you got to eat?
Movie. Except you probably should still get popcorn.
That's an even better recommendation. What is the better recommend? Captain Underpants, Dogman movie.
Recommend both.
You had to give Dogman a rating from 1 to 5 stars. What would you rate Dogman?
4.5.
4.5 stars? Is it a definite go see in the theater? And how did you like the movie?
Awesome!
All right, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
This is Gen X out! Wow, what a thoughtful, measured, and concise review from Generation Alpha. They really are the future. Let's get back to Gen X's review. All right, I'm gonna give Dogman a solid 3 stars out of 5. It's a fun, mindless kids movie that delivers the goods and honors the source material that came before. Is it on the level of The Wild Robot, which is an absolute classic in my mind already, a film that I think will resonate for generations down the line? No. But is it good, clean, harmless fun that will keep the kids entertained for an hour and a half while you sneak off to doom scroll or ponder how your life became so dedicated to taking care of children all the time? Absolutely. All right, I gotta bounce. I want to give a big thank you to Generation Alpha for jumping in on this review. I'm sure you guys will see him in a couple months when we review that epic-looking Minecraft movie. Whatever. Be sure to like and subscribe, or don't. And hit me up in the comments. Let me know what family film you've watched recently that you think will be an eternal classic. And if it isn't The Wild Robot, I will fight you in the comments. Later, skaters.